Hi there, my name is Pamela Oliveira and let's begin another episode of the show where you find out what is happening in Brazil. Now, check out the most important news coming out of Brazil.
Even in the face of the novel coronavirus pandemic, mining companies have not suspended their activities in the country. This is because mining has been labeled as an essential activity by the federal government in a decree issued on March 28th. The measure was lobbied for by the industry and allows for the undertaking of activities such as the processing of mineral residues and dumping of mineral waste created in the chain of production. Last Wednesday, a 44-year-old man who was a contractor for a mining company died from COVID-19. In the states of Minas Gerais and Rio de Janeiro, 2 employees of the Vale Mining Company are also infected with the disease. Many of the company's 50,000 workers are showing up with symptoms of the illness. Only those considered to belong to higher risk groups or administrative workers are allowed to work from home. However, the potential for the propagation of the disease within mining activities is considered huge by those representing the workers. Employees often get around by bus to get to their mess halls or get around town surrounding the mines. Unions question for whom this activity is actually essential for and remind us that the materials are usually exported. In a press release, Vale stated that it is taking the necessary measures to support coronavirus prevention in its workplaces. The mining company reinforced that it operates in accordance with health protocols established by the authorities of all the countries they're based in.
The African continent and Afro-heritage are themes featuring display starring father and son for the first time together on the stage. Brazilian artists Antonio and Rocco Pitanga spoke to Brasil de Fato about the play Immediate Boarding. The work discusses the deleted memories of Brazilian black population and the search for origins in a narrative that blurs the line between acting and reality. Listen what they had to say.
There's 2 actors on stage, 3 with my daughter Camila. We are all black. A little bit of this project, this theme, display, is a little bit of my life. I went to Africa, stayed 2 years in Africa, and am relating in real time my journey to my daughter, my son, and dad, and the audience. I didn't go to Africa for a visit. I went to gather information. It's not enough to say that I'm of African heritage. I want to know what country. It's a continent with more than 54 countries.
You get the feeling that the older character is more committed to his own identity. He knows who he really is better. And the other character, the younger one, ends up having many different identities because of how much information he's getting. I believe the younger character is in fact still in search of his own identity and is surprised when the older one tells him that in truth, identity lies within yourself.
It's a shock of knowledge, of revelation. It's all new for the younger character because we aren't taught African history in school. We are Brazilians, but there is still lots of discrimination here. Like, I'm not Brazilian, but I'm also not African. What is my identity?
It's important to understand that a people without culture is a people that doesn't exist. A tree without roots has no strength to grow.
This year, Brazil is having municipal elections, but the crisis of political representation has put into question the credibility of the political system as a whole. In response to this situation, militants and activists are articulating collective candidacies where the mandate is divided between different people, in many cases with distinct ideologies and tendencies. Groups of 3, 4, even 8 people have been sharing political positions throughout Brazil. It won't be any different in this year's municipal elections. Check it out this story.
2 important collective candidacies of black men and women will contend for posts in the São Paulo City Council this year. They come from social movements like Uniafro, an entity linked to education in the country's ghettos, and the homeless workers movement, MTST.
We understand that a lone individual, though full of intentions to bring about change, by himself can't do it. We realize the same principle within our movement, the MTST. The collective for discussions, the collective for mobilization, the collective for victory.
The idea is to turn politics into something real and within reach, so that we can have these discussions, understanding the limitations, understanding the issues, and opening up the mind to the idea that a politician isn't someone untouchable, with whom I can talk to on the streets. It's the person doing militancy with you.
Brazilian law doesn't impede collective candidacies, but only one person may represent the mandate at the council. Collective candidacies are seen as an answer to the lack of representativity of the political class.
What we are noticing in these experiments is that they, at very least, make other lawmakers feel uncomfortable trying to respond to their electoral bases. So, we diminish this distance between representatives and those represented.
In truth, it's not about adapting to existing institutional politics, but bringing about a new format of what is politically possible.
The activist wing of São Paulo was one of the candidacies elected in the last vote. State Representative Mônica Seixas is part of the group.
For us, this collective mandate was built in order to dismantle the mythical guru, messiah figure in politics, as if the experience of one person alone can mediate all the conflicts of a pluralistic society, full of culture and so on. We formed a mini parliament inside our mandate. This desk here belongs to one of the co-council people, and it's a desk of infinite conflict. We sit here teaching and stealing each other with our causes.
When you have more eyes, more hands, more heads in the whole process, things flow and happen naturally. That's how it works.
And now, for the most delectable part of our show, learn another Brazilian recipe and more about our music.
Sweet lentil candy is a really easy recipe to make. Grind the chocolate biscuits in a shredder or blender till it gets powdery. It became powder. Store it for now. Now I'm going to shred the roasted lentils and mix it with the chocolate powder. It takes a bit of time to shred the lentils. A tip to make things move along faster is to roast the raw lentils, because it takes around 40 minutes to be ready. Next, mix the ground lentils and chocolate powder with the other ingredients. A pinch of salt, the sugar and the cream go in. Mix them all up well till you get a consistent dough. It seems like the lentils won't mix right, but it will be red for sure. Just keep mixing and crushing it. The lentils will give the candy some crunchiness, and it's a good way to eat some legumes. After that, put it in a container, press it tight together, and take to the refrigerator. Just keep pressing it together with a spoon. No need to heat it up. It's really practical. There you go. Now, just cut it and serve it.
That is it for our show today. I see you soon.